In 2017 in America, a woman lost over $1 million. She didn't lose it to a robbery. She didn't lose it to a bad investment. She lost it to a man she loved, a man she had never once met in person. Her name was Margaret Sophia. For over 20 years, she worked backstage on some of the biggest music tours in America. She was sharp. She was not careless. But in 2021, her husband passed away, and the house went quiet. No more conversations at the dinner table. No more good mornings. She was 67, and for the first time in decades, completely alone. So she did what millions of people do. She went online, just to see familiar faces, just to feel less alone. That's when the message came. His name was Donald. His photo showed a tall, well-dressed man with silver hair and warm eyes. 71 years old, born in Stuttgart, a retired civil engineer living in Houston. Margaret Sophia looked at that photo and her heart stopped. He looked just like her late husband. Donald didn't rush. He didn't ask for anything at first. He just talked about her life, her memories, her music. Then he said, "You remind me of my late wife. I have been looking for someone like you for a long time." Within 3 weeks, he was calling her every morning, using the same nickname her husband used to call her. She thought, this can't be a coincidence. This must be a second chance. Then Donald said he had to leave for a job, a mining contract in Malaysia, a remote site, barely any signal. Then came the first request. "Margaret Sophia, I'm sorry to ask. I need $1,000 for internet access at the site. I'll pay you back the moment I return." She didn't think twice. She sent it. 2 weeks later, Donald sent her photos, a heavy industrial red metal safe, gold bars, and stacks of $100 bills. He said he'd built a private fortune worth $700 million, and he wanted to share it all with her. He was coming home soon. He just needed help moving the money safely out of the country. Then the crisis started. His cargo plane was stopped in Greece. Customs found the safe. His men were arrested, and he needed $80,000 in legal fees. She wired it. Then Donald himself was arrested, this time in Spain. $120,000 for bail. She sent it. Then the lawyer needed fees. Then a customs officer needed a bribe. Then the shipping company needed payment. Every week, a new emergency. Every week, another $100,000. That's when the investigation began. The emails Donald sent, official-looking documents from a company called Frontline Logistics, all came back fake when the addresses were checked. Spoofed. The real Frontline Logistics had nothing to do with any of it. Then came the money trail. Every payment Margaret Sophia made eventually turned into crypto. Tracing the wallets on the blockchain showed the money never went to Greece or Spain. It moved through a chain of wallets, broken into smaller pieces, passed through exchanges, and disappeared into accounts in West Africa. This wasn't one man in trouble overseas. It was a coordinated operation, running like a business. A small room, no windows, several men at desks covered in phones and laptops, each one playing a character. One was Donald, one was the lawyer, one was the customs officer. They had scripts. They knew exactly when to apply pressure and exactly when to show affection to keep the money coming. And the real man in the photos, he had nothing to do with any of it. A life coach living in Hamburg, Germany, with a website, a YouTube channel, and a family who had no idea his photos had been stolen to destroy a stranger's life on the other side of the world. When Margaret Sophia was shown everything, the fake emails, the blockchain trail, the real man behind the photos, she sat very still for a long time. Then she said, "I feel so stupid." She wasn't stupid. She was targeted. There's a difference. She lost over $1 million, her savings, her home. There were weeks she couldn't even pay her electricity bill. But Margaret Sophia is still here. She's back in the studio, working on music again, rebuilding slowly, one day at a time. She agreed to share her story because she doesn't want it to happen to anyone else. If someone online promises you millions of dollars, that's a scam. If they say they're stuck in a foreign prison and need money fast, that's a scam. If they only accept Bitcoin or wire transfers, that's a scam. Scammers aren't movie villains. They're workers. They sit at desks. They follow scripts. And they are very good at finding people in pain. Don't let grief become their income. Don't let loneliness become their business.